please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thanks for coming, everybody. I feel like saying Merry Christmas instead of Easter, huh?
The Easter snowman?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They call it Sprinter, right? Spring and winter. We did a Pledge of Allegiance. Roll call.
Mark Bouchard.
Here.
Maureen Bory.
Absent excuse.
Joanne Shirkey.
Here.
Artie Bryson.
Here.
Christy Hilton.
Here.
Krista Regan.
Here.
Cindy Valentine here.
Okay. Moving right along, we have bills payable of $190,461.53. I will entertain a motion.
Board, I'd like to make a motion to approve the bills payable in the amount of $190,461.53.
Support.
Okay, we have motion and support. Any discussion?
No.
Okay, roll call, please.
Joanne Shirkey.
Yes.
Artie Bryson.
Yes.
Christy Hilton.
Yes.
Krista Regan.
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes. Mark Bouchard.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Next is the Supervisors Report. I've been doing a lot of work this past, actually 2 weeks or more, on funding our 4 or 5 projects that we have. I applied for federal funding for our water main project. We had one that was due April 8th through Lisa McLean's office. And, or actually, I'm sorry, that was through Gary Peters' office. Then this past April 13th, one through Lisa McLean's office. And we're working on one through Debbie Stavenaw's office. It's due April 22nd. You would think these people could use all the same forms and questions, right? No, makes it difficult. But I do have a conference call scheduled tomorrow at 10 a.m. with Debbie Stabenow in her office about this. And I am seeking $2.5 million on federal money for our water main project. So keep our fingers crossed on those.
Yes, that's a big one.
Dealing with building and blight issues, I don't have the number. I know we solved a couple that were headed to court, and we got a couple more that are going to court, so it's probably a wash. Had our kickoff meeting on the wastewater treatment plant authority, and we came out with a lot of questions we, answering or for each other and the county. And right now, as I see it, the big question is the board makeup. How many are going to be on the board from each entity? We had numbers, is it going to be a 3-person board, a 5-person board, a 7-person board? When you have 3 different entities, it's hard to make it a 5-person board because one's going to be without. And they thought, well, maybe you could rotate that. I don't know. I myself personally would like to see a 7-person board. There will be 2 people from each entity, and then a member at large would be from the county commissioner. But that's where we're at now, and we do have another meeting scheduled here shortly. I can't remember the date, but I think everybody's is working well together though on it. So I don't see any big problems coming up.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Artie, can you go over who's going to be on the board again?
Well, we don't know yet.
Okay, well, I was just,
It'll be between the 3 entities is Ira, Algonac, and Clay.
okay. Are any board members going to be on it from either Algonac here or?
I assume so.
Other than the supervisors?
I don't even know if the supervisors are going to be on it. So,
Well, that's, all of that is something to consider at
Right.
some point in time, okay. All
Yep.
right. Just want to make that point.
Yep.
Thank you.
So, all right. I was informed last week from the road commission that, with the price of fuel costs and everything else going up, our limestone is going up $1.85 a ton. And so they're gonna have to probably rework some of the work orders. And also chloride has, increased quite a bit. That's an estimate, the $1.85. They're waiting to hear from the freighters, how much the haul will cost them. As the county goes through about 6-7 freighter loads a year. So, they're working on that, and chloride's gone like crazy. I know we budgeted for 2 chloride treatments, but we'll see what they come back with the cost as soon as they know with that. Still working on the engineering design with the Harsonville Nature Park. A lot of questions with Eagle, and working with our environmental engineers at ASTI on getting that permit through Eagle with them. And I think I might have mentioned last time we're looking at doing the birding platform now out on the water next to the kayak launch, the handicap kayak launch. So,
All of that's been taken care of with environmental, right? As you said last week?
yeah.
Okay.
Like the Grand Canyon.
Well, there's discussion if it's wetlands or not, and that type of thing. That's what Eagle's, concerned with. Working on the water main project and that design too, and working on next year's budget. That's a challenge for sure. Want to remind everyone, county is updating their master plan, and they're going to be holding a visioning meeting here in Clay Township Hall. It'll be Thursday the 28th, 6:30 to 8:30. It's next Thursday. So try to make it for that. I attended a Parks and Rec meeting about our beach park, and that went fairly well. Lots of things going on with that, and in fact, I think I have a phone conference after with Debbie Stabenow with them concerning a few questions. We're trying to put a gate, not for people going through, but for a maintenance gate towards the water between the county park, the beach park, and the state DNR launch. Getting geared up for summer events and Clay Days. This past week, I had the pleasure of talking to all the 7th grade classes in the school about the time capsule. And they're all excited, fired up. In fact, I even heard from like 5 or 6 parents that these kids haven't been so excited about a writing project. But I told them I didn't teach class, but you can either go a couple ways. Write what you think the world's going to be like 100 years from now. When we talked about that, and that was quite a lot of fun. And then we talked about how cool it would be right now if I could hand them a letter from their great-grandmother or great-grandfather written when they were 12 years old, 100 years ago, of what you like to do, what life was like then, and maybe some words of wisdom or things like that. And they all thought that was pretty cool too, that would be pretty good. And I said, we're giving you an opportunity to give a gift to your great-grandkid right now by doing that. And they're all excited about that. Then we had a lot of discussion on what we should put in the time capsule. And it was fun. We didn't have any dead air whatsoever.
You want my hat?
Yeah, we do need your hat. And again, like this is going to be pretty good size. It's a vault for a casket. So I don't know. It's like 8 foot, 7 foot long, 3 foot high, 4 foot wide, And so we're going to have a lot of room, but I got a kid that's going to be donating an Xbox. But they had a lot of great comments, and they said, well, because they thought, certain books and everything would be cool, and to put it in a book bag that they typically use. One of them said the Bible, a yearbook they're bringing, a couple fashion magazines. It was very good, and very good conversation, but the funniest one was about putting a Twinkie in there and seeing if it's good 100 years from now.
Those things really don't biodegrade, do they?
So, yeah. So it was very good, and yeah, I enjoyed myself too. I think they did too. So that's all I have. Public comments. Do we have any public comments? Come on up, state your name. Spin that around. I should have spun it.
I get that.
Okay, thank you.
My good deed for the day here.
That's right. State your name and address and have at it.
All right, I don't think I need to mark. I'm Jim Osenchanik, and I live at 909 Market in Algonac. So I'll hand something out for you to pass out. No, yeah. Well, on a day like today, I'm sure that the supervisor, the treasury, and all you trustees, on a April 22nd day with it snowing, are thinking of one thing and one thing only, just like me, boating, right? You're all thinking about boating, but on the other hand, you have the hassle of boating. You have to put your boat in the water. You have to find out if you still have a dock slip. You have to get the boat running. And it is just a hassle. Let's not forget the end of the year, you got to pull it back out, shrink wrap it, and pay all that expense, right? So that's why I'm here today, to give you some good news of a franchise that is coming into Algonac this year, and it's called the Freedom Boat Club. A few of you may have heard of it before. So the Freedom Boat Club is a boat club that has over 300 different locations. Actually, I believe the number's around 340. Okay, and as a member, you're able to use any one of these locations, even some of them that are overseas. So I printed out a little partial map of some of the states, and there's a website on this document where you can go to and you can click any state, and you'll see all the boats that are available. And through an online system, you can reserve any boat. It is customer oriented. When you get there, they're going to be expecting you. They'll walk you out to the boat. They'll show you the safety equipment. They'll turn that boat. You'll start it. Boats are 1 to 2 years old. The boats in this area tend to be 22 to 25 feet. Sea rays, tri-tunes, bow riders, a lot of Cobra consoles. They're getting in some fishing boats, so a good variety of boats. And the reservation system is set up so you can only have 4 active reservations, which is good. So you can't go in there and say every weekend, I want to have that 25-foot Sea Ray and just steal the best boat that you like for the year. But it's nice because it really forces you to try different boats. Last year, I drove most of them. I have a boat reserved this Wednesday, even though the official season isn't until May 1 to the end of September. Obviously, as soon as they get boats in, they're going to let you use them. So they're starting with Lambrick Marina. There's 4 marinas in this area. There's going to be the Algonac one. There's Lambrick, which used to be the old Markley, which is on North River Road, just past Selfridge back gate. That one takes you out to Clinton River, and that's the only one in this area that you have to gas it back up when you come back in, because the gas pumps are about 20 minutes from the dock, and it's too long for the staff to do that and turn the boat over for somebody else if you had a half-day rental. The other one is at 9 Mile and Jefferson, and there's one at Sinbad's in Detroit. You're pulling right in front of the Belle Isle there. So good walleye fishing. They have a couple others on the horizon in the next couple of years. One of them is Clearwater, or Clear something. Anyway, it's Oakland County. It's an inland lake. It'll be our first Michigan inland lake. And then they're looking at Gibraltar. The next ones they're looking at is moving up the river, possibly St. Clair, Port Huron area. So it's really, it's not the best thing since sliced bread. So let me say what it isn't. If you want to go out in the boat with your cabin cruiser and you want to spend a weekend on Muscatine Bay, it's not for you. But if you want the ability to boat at 300 plus locations and see many waterways, and you want the hassle out of boating, it's a pretty darn good deal. And we communicate through an application called BAND. It's a really cool application, by the way. You might want to look at that. It's a good membership application, BAND. And when they announced the Algonac one, the very first few questions that were coming out were, where are the restaurants? Where are the hotels? Which obviously the answers were short. But the point is that we're starting to get a lot of people that are going to be coming in this area. So Algonac's starting with 6 boats. As they get a lot of demand, they'll increase that. This membership here, between the 4 clubs, they have over 50 boats. So we're doing pretty good. So I never had a problem getting a boat last year. Sometimes I didn't get the boat that I wanted, but I got a good alternative. But if you plan it out in advance, you're going to get a couple weeks in advance, you're going to get the boat you want.
What's the website for this?
It's on here. It's the main one is on there, I think. Yep.
Band.
Oh, for band?
No, for,
Freedom Boat Club?
Yeah.
Yep, I think it's on page 2 underlined. Corporate website.
freedomboatclub.com
Yep,
for information.
yeah, and there's Freedom Boat Club St. Clair, if you Google, or if you go to Facebook, do Freedom Boat Club, and then just type St. Clair.
Okay.
You'll see their page, you can like it, just view it, whatever.
It works like what is it, the dry storage boat. Like, you call them up, they'll have the boat ready for you, and you take it back, then they...
Exactly, only here you just reserve it, the boats are already there.
Right.
And there's a young person, they're usually 18 to 22. They're very knowledgeable of boats. These are people that they've picked up that have been boating all their lives.
Where exactly is the location in Algonac again?
The Harbor Club.
Harbor Club?
Yep, I believe they're going to be in the front of the Harbor Club where the old visiting spot was. I think they're using the...
And on your applications, do you require any safety certifications from Coast Guard or anything like that?
Well, I'm just a member, so I'm only, so let me answer that the way I can from a member. Everyone who becomes a member has to go through training, regardless if you're a captain, it doesn't matter. They make you go through their training, okay? Once you're comfortable, you're able to go through, and you go through unlimited training. If you're not comfortable the first time, go through it a second, third time. All the boats are Coast Guard approved. As a matter of fact, I got stopped for a safety check last year, and it was kind of funny because the Coast Guard was a second-class petty officer who was running the boat, and he had a bunch of younger Coast Guard guys with him, and as soon as I said it was Freedom Boat Club, you could just see the wind just went out because they knew that we were all up to speed. So we had everything, of course. We had life
That's
jackets,
good to know.
horns, yep, all that. So it's a really good thing. I'll see if there's anything here I missed real quick. Oh, I just, like I said, I give you a map of some of the locations. The proprietor, Steve Dobrik, is an attorney, but he spent a lot of time in Tampa Bay. This started in Florida. Tampa Bay has 25 of them. And the joke out there is every boat goes out as a Freedom Boat Club. Because the amount of money you spend and you're not making with the hassle, it's kind of cool.
What is your general membership fund?
I'm almost hesitant to answer because I don't know what they're running this year, but I will tell you I played between $4,000 and $5,000 to get in the club. So there's a fee to get in the club, and my annual fee is about the same. It's about $4,500. And it's locked in. It's not supposed to ever go up in life. And again, the people who are going out here and going to clubs that have a reciprocatory agreement, they're all saying how easy it is and how nice these people are. And they have several membership gatherings and all that other good fun stuff.
So freedomboatclub.com.
Yep, check her out. And
All right.
I'm here. Look, if I get a member, I get a discount of a month. But that's not why I'm here. I'm here because the more members you get, the more this thing's going to be successful.
Yep.
And
Gotcha.
if they grow this one, they may grow one up north sooner, and we'll have them all over.
All right, thanks a lot, Jim.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, thank you. Any other public comments? Public comments? Not seeing any more. Consent agenda. I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda for the minutes of April 4th, 2022, and check reports. And I just want to make a note, I did correct the minutes to list Christie as absent from that last meeting.
Okay.
And those are already corrected online.
What'd you say about the minutes, Cindy?
I corrected the minutes because it didn't have Christie listed as absent last meeting. So that's already corrected online.
Well, I got the minutes up right now. Are they completed? I don't see board member comments on mine copy or.
I wasn't at the meeting and already didn't take board member
Okay,
comments, so.
and, that's why. Okay.
Support.
Okay, motion and support. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. We have a report from our fire chief. World-renowned fire chief.
Thank you. Good afternoon, good evening. Chief's report for March 2022. During the month of March, I attended two meetings, the Harson's Island Homeowners Association and also the Fire Chiefs, St. Clair County Fire Chiefs Association. General business was discussed. We had the radios installed in both the new engines, so they're up and running. Engine 1 is now in place over on the island, and the old Engine 1 is now sitting in the station over here on the mainland. We went through our equipment that were going to be used this summer on the fireboat and the rescue boat, making sure that the medical bags are all stacked and the equipment is in shape. And we did order our new Lucas machine and our AEDs. We did receive our Lucas machine last week, and we also had an in-service on it on Thursday. So I plan on bringing it in on the first board meeting of May and giving you guys a demonstration on how that Lucas machine works.
Right here on the table.
Yep. So
We'll hook it up to Mark.
Yeah,
Do you need a? I was going to volunteer already.
I'll do it.
Chief, do we have everybody trained on the new engines that we got?
yes, we do.
Okay.
Driving too?
Driving, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, in your report, did you include Harrison Island in the overall sum, or are you going to break that out?
I put one in your box. You should have got one in
Okay.
your box.
I just grabbed, I thought it was a copy. Okay,
Yep.
that's good.
Yep.
Any more questions for
Perfect.
Chief?
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, George.
Yep.
Okay, new business, City of Algonac. They want a blanket purchase order for up to $30,000 of chemicals for the water plant. And I do know that that the cost of that stuff's gone up crazy. I was kind of myself baffled about this at first. I included an email asking about the quotes, which the manager or the superintendent of the plant replied to me, because he had some notes scribbled on the quotes and stuff. But I even pulled the contract out. This is a maintenance thing, not a capital improvement. But it does say in our in the contract, anything over $20,000 that we have to improve, expansion, maintenance, improvement, and/or capital expenses. In the past, it's always been capital expenses. This is the first time we had a maintenance item that they're looking for approval on. And it won't be a 2/3, 1/3, well, it probably will be eventually. We're not going to pay 2/3 of it, and they pay 1/3 of it like a capital expense. This will go into the normal operating costs of the plant, and then through the year in the auditing, it'll be taken care of. I'm trying to say it will be taken care of the chemical purchase by the amount we pay for water, so much per 1,000 gallons.
So it's just basically then because the contract says anything over 20,000
Right.
we have to approve, not necessarily we're getting billed for it. But
Right, exactly.
instead of them buying monthly, they're trying to do a bulk purchase, so we have to approve it.
Yep, exactly.
Perfect.
This is
So-
a,
And how do we recoup the extra cost?
How do we
Because
recoup?
we already have I assume we already have a budget for the current or the past
Yeah.
product. So we got an extra cost increase. How are we going to recoup that?
Well, what will happen is we'll get, every year, they base our water rates on how much it is estimated it's gonna cost.
So it'll automatically come out during their auto rate,
Right.
by the rating. Okay.
And
All right.
then we do it's called a look-back charge or a look-back refund, once we have the actual numbers. And so it'll be all included in that.
And how long would this blanket order, 1 year or?
It says 1 year.
And how often do we order?
I'm not sure, how often they order, their chemicals for the water plant.
Yeah, I was just looking at the usage and how many.
Right.
You know what a general order would look like as far as cost is concerned?
Well, no, not really, I don't.
Like, I think some of it depends on wind events and things like that, because the more there's turbidity in the
Right,
water,
so it's
the more
variable.
chemical they
Yeah,
use.
Depending on the
right, on the
environment.
conditions, like, the turbidity, you gotta treat the water, depends on the condition of the water. This water solution unlimited, it seems like it was that the, PVS, that was the one that was
Yeah,
substantially cheaper than the other places, and that's the same company that had some labeling problems, but I assume that's been fixed. And that New Baltimore had some issues with,
From which company?
PBS.
PVS,
Okay, but they're looking for an approval for water solutions, correct?
right,
So I'm glad to see that
Yep.
we're going far, far away from PBS.
yep. Yeah, Water Solutions is, so,
I'll make a motion to approve the $30,000 City of Algonac blanket water solution purchase for chemicals for the water plant.
Support.
okay, a motion and support. Any more discussion?
So are we looking at are we going to approve a particular supplier?
Yes, it's for Water Solutions.
The Water Solutions is
Yep.
going to be the supplier.
For these four chemicals, up to $30,000 for all of them. Before, I think they got them from multiple suppliers.
Page 19.
Well, I'm looking at the email, I'm looking at the quotes right now. So I see PVC, you just discussed that, is that?
They're a lot higher.
Okay.
so Artie, in the construction
Okay,
field.
thanks.
Oh, go ahead, Mark.
No, I'm done.
In the construction field, like, we get price increase notices from our roofing supplier, from our siders, from the concrete guy, from the lumber guy, from the truss guys. To me, this is not much more than that. They're putting us on notice to say that their normal routine of chemical purchases is going up,
Right.
right? And they want our validation or our support to say when they spend more money on future purchases that we're gonna support that purchase.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
And they locked in the purchases from this Water Solution Unlimited to be their sole provider. Or they're telling them they're gonna be their sole provider. I'm sure they don't have to be. But Algonac's telling them, hey, we're gonna, buy all of our supplies from you, and they got them a better deal. But,
It makes much easier to order that product.
right.
Without going through a whole bunch of.
Right, every
approvals
time.
on it.
It's, they buy the stuff, and, I'm not sure, you buy it by the 55-gallon
Yeah.
drum. I don't know how many drums they buy at a time, 1, 2, 3, I'm not sure.
Eliminates a little bit of red tape, so.
Well, and as they cut a better deal.
Yeah.
Apparently, they talked to like 4 neighboring water plants, that are doing similar things with this water solution unlimited. All right, we have a motion and support. Any more discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Kristi Hilton.
Yes.
Chris O'Regan.
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes. Mark Bouchard.
Yes.
Maureen's not here, sorry. Joanne Shirkey.
Yes.
Artie Bryson.
Yes. Okay, motion passed. Next, we have a quote, from our auditors. State of Michigan is making us redo our accounting, our chart of accounts again. This is pretty challenging. It's not just, assigning the accounts different numbers. We have to go in BS&A and make sure it preserves all the historic numbers in other words, there's in the database, there's a pointer from the new account number to the old account number so we can run our reports and everything. It is pretty complicated, and we have a quote not to exceed $6,000. They're actually estimating a cost between $4,000 and $6,000. Depending on how many hours it will take them. And they are estimating it could be up to 35 hours, so that would be the $6,000. You want to say?
Have you had discussions with BSA? I think they have.
Yeah.
Christie, have you talked to BSA about this transition?
So BSNA did have a workshop during our fall workshop. They had a seminar on the whole change. So they've had, I think, 5 or 6 different waves depending on your fiscal year end. And then each wave has 10 levels of completing all of this. So I attempted to start going through this, and it got to be more than what I can. So the state is trying to make it so that when they look at a GL number on any report, it's the same for every single municipality in the state. So we have all these GL numbers, and some of them are clear. If it was 150, now it moves to 285, and that's it. But then there are some where the subcategories within the fund just need to move around still within the fund. And then there are some old accounts that we have. The description on them is not clear enough for me to say, oh, okay, the state wants this one to be changed. So I kind of went through it for about a week and tried to color categorize as much as I could. So we did give that to our auditors. But there are some that I just don't know if they need to be changed or not. So.
June 15th seems pretty aggressive to me for everything
Well,
you have to go into.
We have to, our chart of accounts has to be converted prior to our next fiscal year end. So we have to be switched over to this by June 30th of '23. So BSNA's wave that we were in was supposed to have us changed over by the beginning of our fiscal year, July 1st. But we missed that. We can't make that, so we'll convert during the middle of our fiscal year.
You look excited.
It was, I thought, okay, I can do this, but then, once I got into it,
It's above our knowledge base,
Yeah.
in-house knowledge base. So.
I don't think the issue was the current year. It was all the
No.
historical things that we're not sure what is actually in those lines
Right.
of whether we want to lose that information or not.
Yeah, we don't want to
So-
lose any historic information for reports, and we want a clean transfer.
yes. And that BSNA is not charging the first time, but if you do something wrong and it doesn't convert correctly, then when they have to go back and fix it,
If
they'll
it's our
charge.
fault. Yeah.
Right. Well, it would be, because we have to approve everything before they change it. So I would rather have the auditors look at it, get it right before we do it, so that we can just move forward with it and not.
They're doing it for other municipalities, they have experience with it.
So not to exceed 6,000?
Yep.
Okay.
that a motion?
Okay.
Do we have a second?
Support.
Okay, we got a motion not to exceed $6,000 for UHY for changing the chart of accounts. And a second, any more questions, concerns? Hearing none, all in favor? No, is this a contract?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we gotta do roll call then.
Chris O'Regan.
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes. Mark Burchard.
Yes.
Joanne Shirkey.
Yes.
Artie Bryson.
Yes.
Christy Hilton.
Yes.
All right, next, talking about our bathroom in the park. We wanted to do a epoxy chip seal on it, and Lance got 3 quotes and recommending that we go with Flats Epoxy LLC. It's a local company, and he gave us, which I thought was a pretty reasonable rate of $2,300.
Are we familiar with Flats Epoxy?
I am, they live here in they're local in the
Yeah, I see that,
township.
yeah.
And I know a few people that use them for garages. Have you ran into them?
I have not yet. No. If we make a motion, I'd like to discuss this a little further. Unless you want to open up the forum now.
Well, let's open it up.
Okay. I think it's under market value. So I'm referring to the Flats Epoxy quote. It's not very much per square foot. So like any quote nowadays, I would say the devil's in the details.
Right.
So
It
this
says
comes.
chips.
Yeah, so chips are good, right? A fleck or a flake inside, but really it comes down to the prep and how much floor prep they actually have to do, and then the coats of application, and then whether or not we get a non-slip added into the actual epoxy. So those are really the 3 main variables. I recommend all 3. And if Flats Epoxy can do that for this price, then, we should be pushing their name out to all of our friends and family, because it's a very reasonable price.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Chris, I'm a little confused too, because on the other part of the quote, it says something about a chip, an extra $4,000.
Yeah, that's a second quote, right? You're looking at the AA epoxy quote? So
Yes.
what Lance has done is given us 3 quotes, Mark.
Oh, I know, but I'm talking about the last quote with,
Yep.
with Flats Epoxy.
Yep.
You could do it as
So you have
epoxy or the chip.
$2,300, and then you have reference the quote in addition which calls for the chip at $4,000, and then second day of polyurethane, $2,500.
That's
But
another-
the quote at the top doesn't say anything about that.
Yeah.
So how much is it? Is it 6,000 or is it 2,300?
Well, you're dealing
I'm
with 2
confused.
separate quotes, Mark. So if you did everything with the
Well,
way
are we
I'm
gonna-
reading
Are we
this.
going to do the full-blown
4,000.
price that the other 2 quotes stated that they would? Or are we going to
Yeah.
go just half-ass with it?
Hey, Lance,
Excuse my
can you
language.
Yeah,
shed
Lance
some
is
clarity?
The other 2 quotes that Mark's speaking of, the one is $4,000 and the other one's $41.89. The one from Motor City Floors and the other one from AAA Epoxy. Or AA, I'm sorry. But when I did talk to the guy from Flats Epoxy, one of the reasons he's doing what he's doing is, 1, it's for our park,
Okay, that's what I wondered. Like
and
it's some
2,
kind of discount he's doing?
yes. And the other thing is, he kind of said, he goes, mouth works very well. He goes, especially in small towns. And he is local. He is from Harson's Island. And he seemed very knowledgeable. They are going to take a diamond disc grinder, and they are going to etch the concrete.
Oh, good.
The bathroom, in the men's bathroom, we tried epoxying it ourselves. and what's in there now, you can't clean, you can't do nothing with it.
Yeah.
So he's going to grind that off, etch the concrete, and then do the bathrooms and the concession stand area.
Okay. Did you guys discuss a non-slip additive?
Yes, it is non-slip.
Oh,
And then he says, when you guys do decide whatever it is, and all three companies did say that, somebody needs to pick a color. Color and a flex, so.
I think if someone makes a motion, we should put the treasurer and the clerk in charge of color picking.
Okay.
Sure.
He had a book of them.
Yeah, I know.
I will say that.
I like the blue.
He had a book of them. He goes, if you want, you can put blue in the boys and pink in the girls, or he says, you do whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Nope.
A little purple.
Yeah.
Like a rainbow in the girls,
Yeah.
like a unicorn.
See, this is
colors.
why,
let's give it a shot. Board, I'll make a motion to approve the Flats Epoxy LLC quote, QU Quad 05, dated April 7th, in the amount of $2,300.
Support.
okay, we have motion support, and it will be coming out of the Parks and Rec line item 208-933, the building maintenance, which we checked, and we have lots of room there for it. Okay, we have motion and support. Any more discussion other than color? Not hearing any. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Thank you. It'll make it look real nice.
Yeah, well,
Thanks, Lance.
thank you. Next, we have our water easement purchase. This is for the part of our water project that we're trying to get $2.5 million funded by the federal government. And it's to purchase a water easement on a lot on Harson's Island that's just upstream from W.C. Beardsley. And I talked to it's actually an association that owns it, but we had to do some digging. In fact, I got other paperwork that I put out here as to who actually is authorized to sign for it. And they're agreeable to do this, and the engineers like the location because it's a shorter distance across the river, and it will save us a lot of money in construction costs and provide us a stop or a place to put a second line to Harson's Island and make the whole system more redundant and beneficial to the whole system.
Artie, you and I talked about this a little bit earlier, and you made a very good point when you talked about why the line is where it is to begin with now,
Yep.
and how old it is.
Yep.
So I just thought maybe you might want to mention that,
Yeah,
because
I mean,
that was a great point.
Right now, we have one line that feeds it. I'm not sure the date it exactly went across. It was in the early 70s. And it had to land where the township owns property, I don't know, about a quarter mile north of the ferry, and that's where it had to land at. And the best easement for that at the time was in the Butterfield. And that's why they took that. Now, that's a lot longer run from Butterfield to where, where the water station is now, to where this is planned to go across for the second run. And like I say, that run is 70, I'm guessing 1972. I could be off 5 years either way. No, not 5 years. Might have been earlier than that. So this water line that's servicing, the only water line that's servicing the island isn't a youngster anymore. And as soon as we put the water, the township put water, I think the year 2000 on the island, they wanted a second supply. And Clay Township never did it.
Because initially the first feed was just for the water station.
For the water station, for people to fill up their water jugs, exactly.
So they didn't really need a second feed worrying about
Right,
property.
there wasn't water lines running there over there. And so this one would do exactly what Eagle wants us to do. It'll be a redundant system. It will be a separate supply. It's going to be a 12-inch line going across. It will create the whole island that will be on a loop system just about. And it will make Eagle a lot happier. It will benefit our whole system for water pressure and circulation. So I had a couple people question me, well, why don't we put it, we have an easement already. Like I say, the underground boring, under river boring for this, it's like $480,000. I'm not sure what it costs a foot to sink a 12-inch line under the river, but to use where it is, to use that existing easement, I don't know, it'd probably be another quarter mile in distance. I was trying to eyeball it today, you know, of directional bore under the river. It'd be lot more expensive. And spending this $10,000 will save us a lot of money on this water project.
Directional boring?
Yeah.
And there's a reason why you don't put them right side by side.
Right, because
if
you
they're-
won't get the loop effect of water, you know.
But also, I was told if there's some kind of catastrophic event,
Yep.
if one is right next to the other,
All our
it
eggs
could
are in
happen to
one
both.
basket.
Or if they were boring right next to the older one, it could damage the older one, putting the new one in. So-
Yep. They just put a DTE cable across at the end of Butterfield. I'm not sure what and they had issues with that. What was the diameter of that cable?
It wasn't very large.
No, and we're talking a 12-inch.
It was catastrophic
Yes,
damage,
you know.
failures,
And actually,
insurance claims.
Actually, near where we're going to potentially put this water line, Comcast is the Comcast easement to feed the island Comcast. It goes from the end of Island Drive, and it goes just a few houses upstream from where we're going. And I did talk to those people originally about if they would entertain a water line on that same easement. And they didn't want the water line. So this property it's owned by association, and they primarily use it for boat docking. It's narrow. It's an unbuildable lot, so we're not going to wreck any lot for potential building down the road in the township. And I think it's a win-win for us, myself.
Well, once it's an easement, we can't build on it anyways.
Right, but
Yeah.
like I say, if we took a buildable lot and did this,
Right.
I don't want to take a lot and make it unbuildable.
So I have a question apart from this, although it pertains to it. We have some small roads over off the South Channel, St. Clair Boulevard, or St. Clair, or I think it's St. Clair. Anyways, some of that water over there does not go all the way over to the main drag going around. It only goes halfway.
St. Clair goes all the way.
No, it does
doesn't
not.
Okay,
Because I checked on it, I sold a piece of property over there.
Yeah.
And believe me, I told them the water goes, oh yeah, you have water right there. You don't. I had to make him sign a waiver that I told him in error, so I didn't get sued, and put a
Yeah.
water line in for him. So it's not there. So,
it could be.
yeah, well, I'm asking you, if we do all of this, can some of that stuff be extended to
Oh,
the
yeah.
properties over
Oh,
there?
yeah.
And I know St. Clair isn't the only one.
Right, there's a few of them are. I know, go ahead, Lance, you know it better than I. You were here when they put that in.
Reason being on a lot of that is people didn't want to be in these special assessments.
Right.
They didn't want to pay the fee at the time, which you know yourself, with time, the fee does anything but go up.
Right, right.
Yeah,
But
they
they
didn't
didn't want
want,
to be part of the special assessment, so that's why those roads ended where they did.
Well, what I'm saying, the point is it's going to be available to where we can put it in. with a
if
special
they want to do a special assessment. Like Joanne, she had to pay a special
Yes, she
assessment to get water to your place over there. Now, it wasn't too far ago, 3, 4 years ago, we did Bedore. That We looked at Vidor.
We looked at it, yes.
Yeah, people on Vidor, the next road down the flats, questioned us, hey, can we get water? And we did the engineering. And DEQ said, yeah, you can do it. But when they got the costs, it overwhelmingly, I think all but one didn't want it.
Yeah.
So, because people always question, well, when's water going down the flats? Well, we can do it, but there's not enough people to pay for it.
No, and the hydraulic aspect, when they done the hydraulic model of being the water supplied from Algonac by the pressure of the plant going across in their elevated tower, you're almost at your max limit without having to put either a ground storage tank or an elevated tank on the
More of
island.
them, yeah. But the new vein would, the new main would get more pressure, right?
You're not getting more pressure, you're getting more volume.
More
volume.
volume. Yeah. But,
We just have to make the water tower higher, right?
I
yeah,
wish it was that easy.
Well, we're supposed to get a water tower in Clay Township, right, Audrey?
well, we knew sooner or later we're gonna have to.
Just make it high enough so we have enough pressure at the
We
base of
want
the
property
rising.
to do it, you know?
Everything from Ainsworth west is all done from the booster station that's right there on Ainsworth next to our building.
Good point.
Yep. So. Do I have a motion on this? No.
No, not yet. I'll make a motion to approve the water easement purchase in the amount of $10,000 to, I already lost the drawing. Is it the Parsons Island St. Clair Flats Association?
What? No. It's the Boondocks.
The Boondocks, with the agent of Rhonda Weisgaber?
Yes.
Support.
Okay, we have motion and support. Any more discussion?
Yeah, maybe I missed it. I probably did. Where's the landing part on this side, on mainland side?
Island Drive.
Oh, it is on Island Drive.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, okay.
We
Thank
have
you.
existing rights to go to the water.
When that
Perfect.
project goes in, that main from M29 going from M29 towards Island Drive will be all new.
Perfect. Thank
Yep.
you.
That's why we're doing it on one project.
All right. No more questions.
All right.
I remember this whole thing, and I had to pay 8% interest
Interest?
to pay it in back then.
Wow. All right.
Excuse me.
No more discussion? Roll call, please.
Cindy Valentine, yes. Mark Bouchard?
Yes.
Luann Shirkey?
Yes,
Artie Bryson?
Yes.
Christy Hilton?
Yes.
Chris O'Regan?
Yes.
Motion carries. All right. Cindy, got any board member comments?
I do not. I'm good.
Mark?
Planning Commission is supposed to be on the 27th. I have not seen an agenda yet, so stay tuned for that. And that's all I have. Thanks.
Okay.
Hopefully you guys will work on that resolution for us.
Pardon?
Hopefully you guys,
Ordinance change for the
Yeah, the ordinance
auxiliary
change.
buildings.
hopefully that'll be on your agenda.
Yeah, I haven't.
Maybe I'll reach
Joanne, do
out
you have
to
anything?
Catherine.
yeah, I was just thinking, and now it's gone out of my brain.
That's okay.
Come back to you.
We can come back to you. Chris?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank, Artie, the first responders in our township. While I was messing around and enjoying time with my family and my
Yep.
friends, and, you know, our fire department, we're putting out some fires. Our police officers were making traffic stops and working on some extreme public safety stuff, and it's just easy to take that stuff for granted, but I'm grateful for our fire chief, I'm grateful for our police chief, and I'm certainly grateful for all of our first responders. So, thank you.
I remember now.
Okay.
We're supposed to have a ZBA meeting Wednesday.
Okay, Wednesday?
Wednesday. Mhm. it's a comeback one.
Oh, yeah, coming back. All right, Cindy, or Chrissy,
I don't have anything. Happy
No?
spring.
happy spring, yes, right. I hope everyone had a happy Easter, and to sound off what Trustee O'Regan mentioned, it was a busy weekend, busy week. We did have a house fire down on Bee Lane, and unfortunately, we lost a soul there, but the fire department did an excellent job containing it to a living room and minimal damage, physical damage. But like I say, we did lose a person who was residing there. And the police, they were crazy busy all week long, so kudos to both of them. And other than that, things are coming together with Clay Day. I'm excited about it. I'm getting so much people just coming to me, with, helping and volunteering and everything else. There's a lot of people excited about it, which makes me excited about it too. So it's coming together great. So
I will add one thing to what you're talking about. You did a wonderful job over on the association meeting, explaining what you're doing. Everybody was just, wow. He was talking away, and we got so many people new on the island that they were quite impressed.
we have a phenomenal history here, and I didn't even realize it, but it's been a journey of curiosity for me. So, other than that, one more motion.
Motion to adjourn.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Meeting